Hi, I'm Salidra Gilday, the founder of Mala Creations. I'd like to talk to you about something I love so very much, which is malas. We've been making and designing malas since 1997. Elizabeth Gilbert, in her book Eat, Pray, Love, speaks about japa malas, the string of prayer beads that are used by spiritual seekers during their meditation. She divides her book into 108 chapters, symbolic of the 108 beads on a long mala. The larger bead, the guru bead, is a representative of our spiritual source. The beads are held in the left hand and touched one by one as a mantra is recited. I would love to share with you an amazing story about our Tara malas. It's a story of inspiration, global connection, and serendipity. We first designed our Tara malas in February of 2007, and little did I know then that it was going to be the beginning of a life-changing experience that was going to end up taking me to the land of Tibet only 4 months later. We made our first Tara mala, and within days I found out about a fundraiser that was being held by my friend Lama Palden, and it was to raise money for this group of women called the Non-Chen Nuns of Tibet, who I'd never even heard of. And the day was a day of practice and teaching, and it was in honor of the goddess Tara, who is known as the Mother of Compassion. And it was during this event that I found out about these nuns that devote every moment of their lives to the prayer and blessings of all beings. They never stop praying. These women live in a summit in Tibet, on a mountain peak, without electricity, without heat, with no running water, and without medical supplies. And I knew that this was something that I needed to do and I needed to follow. So we donated our Tara malas, and shortly thereafter knew that we needed to start our own nonprofit organization. I submitted a proposal to Soni Rinpoche to go to Tibet, and with his approval, we started a self-sustaining cottage industry for these nuns. Almost magically, 14 volunteers appeared. We put on a benefit, and we raised almost $10,000 in order to make this trip possible. My videographer, Jeffrey, and I boarded a plane for Chening, China 10 days later, and we were going to this place that was a 23-hour Jeep ride away from Chening and into these barren mountain plains of Tibet, and we didn't even have an address. We made it there, and we trained the local Tibetan women on the making of these malas, and we drove them up these huge summits, up wet, treacherous roads, to Getchak Nunnery, where we placed them on the altar, and they stayed there on that altar for 30 days, being infused with the prayers and blessings of these nuns, who I then had the opportunity to stay with and meet and eat with. And never before have I met human beings who are so pure, so generous of spirit, who are so kind and giving. And they spend their lives in retreat, many of them in 3x3 boxes, doing nothing but praying moment to moment to moment. Tashi, our translator, who by then had become our beloved friend, then takes the malas, sends them back to me. I sell them for $108 each, and then we send the money back to Getchak Nunnery. Because of their dire need for housing and a community prayer room, we are now in the very beginning stages of building a green monastery for these nuns, which will help provide housing for the 700 to 800 women that live at this nunnery. In addition to the profits of our Taramalas going to Tibet, 5% of the proceeds of our mantra malas also goes to the nuns. We have stay-at-home moms in Sistersville, West Virginia, that make our mantra malas, and they, along with the local Tibetan women in Tibet who make our Taramalas, are part of women supporting women across the globe in order to support these Nanchen nuns of Tibet. Each one of our malas comes with its own life-affirming mantra and really represents a convergence of ancient spiritual tradition and modern beauty. The gemstones on each mala have their individual healing qualities, and when all put together, it's worn on the wrist, and it is a constant reminder of the deep sacred within each one of us. Thank you for listening. Namaste.